I'm interested in what people are thinking. Questions.
You said at the beginning something about desire and realizing that it's all right here, right now.
Mm.
And I guess I have this idea that this is also a dream to awaken from, because, and I know you said who awakens, but and I don't know if A Course in Miracles has steered me down a bad path, but it suggests that the dream never happened, that this is, that there is some consciousness, some nameless thing that we can't even put a name to, that has never known of separation, duality.
Right.
That
I mean,
and this is to be explained by way of a myth, because
yeah,
it never
well,
happened. And
it
as
never
soon as you start
really
asking
it never
why,
really
we're into all
happened.
These explanations.
Yeah. I mean, the creation never really happened because it's only an apparent creation.
Right.
And from the point of view of consciousness, nothing ever happened.
Right. And so I'm trying to let go of everything here somehow. But maybe
But there's an aspect of everything that's here that is the truth.
seems to be.
Right?
Is it?
There's an aspect. Yeah. Well, again, like the knowing of it. Right.
Seems to be like only the body.
Yeah, but we're not.
touches
Yeah, but we're not
itself.
talking. But again, we're not talking about the hand. But there's the light on the hand. But there's the knowing of the hand.
But what
Right.
knows the hand? Only
You don't you?
Well, the
Do I have
body's,
to tell you that?
body's eyes see it. If I identify
Well,
with
do you
the
know?
body,
Do you know seeing? Do I have to see for you, or do you know your own seeing?
I question all of that. I question the bodily senses.
Yeah, but I mean, do you know the questions?
Well, there seems to be a questioner, and I question her too.
Yeah, but okay. So, but you're also aware of the questioner, aren't you?
Yes. I just
Like,
I'm
well,
gonna hit some state.
no, go for it. Like, go for it. Like, keep like saying yeah, and then like all the way. And but as you go through all those steps of questioning, do I know this? Do I know this? Am I aware of the questioner? Am I aware of the question? Am I aware of the form? Am I aware of the thought? Am I aware? And you will. The answer will always be yes.
Robert Adams, are you familiar with him? He would say, who is this I? And stop.
Those teachings are ineffectual, really, in a way. You know, like it's not enough. Like, I mean, anybody who's been around the spiritual world, non-duality for like more than a minute, knows that the answer to who am I is awareness, the self, consciousness, or whatever. Like theoretically, they kind of, right? Who am I? You know, the self, or whatever. Like it's not hard to repeat the answer. But the answer, but these teachings don't really explain the implications of that. They don't really unpack it in a way that you can.
Well, the answer is you are not. I think.
Well, no, actually, I mean, you are not refers to the person, right?
But as soon as we put words to it, there's.
Yeah. Okay, but so if you say there's nothing, like you say, like I'm saying to you, you know the questioner, and you know this, and you know that. Now you can say, oh, but there's nothing, and I say to you, and how do you know there's nothing? Right? I mean, you can only report, again, it's like the deep sleep, but the nirvikapi samadhi, you can only report the nothing because you're still aware. Right? So as far as naming the formlessness, I mean, we can give it names, but it is beyond the names we give it, right? I mean, we say, oh, it's formless, it's actionless, it's eternal, it's changeless, it's, whatever, it's consciousness, awareness, knowing, whatever. It's all those names that we give it, but the names aren't it. The names don't define it or whatever. And yeah, I mean, we have to use language. There's no real other way. I mean, I think that's part of it. That's part of the stickiness and the trick around the whole experiential angle. Like, I know when I was trying to do meditation, I try to shut myself off. Like, somehow or another, like, everything needs to be absent, right? This is your objective, somehow or another. The no-mind teachings, the absence, the nothingness, the whatever, the emptiness, like, somehow or another you believe that this thing that doesn't have a name should be something that you can find in your experience. Or that you can find as has a discrete experience that you can kind of find as an object. But if you understand the nature of objects and you know, the things that you can be aware of, I mean, you immediately discount that notion, because anything that you can know is going to itself, it's going to appear in time because it wasn't already there. It's going to have certain qualities that when something else comes in, it's gone. So it's limited in terms of its qualities, whatever. Right? So I mean, you understand the nature of experiences, the nature of objects or whatever, and you just immediately like, it can't be something I'm going to find sitting down, and it's not going to be something that shows up, because no matter what it is, it's still showing up in me, right? The most pure experience, most pure radiant experience is going to be a reflection of consciousness in a perfectly kind of pure mind, mirror of a sattvic mind, right? Like my teacher would say about Ramana, he said, you know, the thing that made Ramana so luminant, so amazing to be around was not his realization, but was the quality of his mind. His mind was so pure, so that consciousness is just shining off of that mind and for everybody to witness, right? That, I mean, your experience will always be, well, it is. So how can it not be equal to whatever? Your experience is always your mind. Like, that's what you basically experience.